This election also tells us that character no longer matters. They didn't care if he overthrew the election. They didn't care if he cheated companies. They didn't care if he cheated small businesses. They didn't care if he lied on his taxes. They didn't care if he lied about the cost of the value of his businesses. In fact, Trump told 30,000 lies last time he was in Oval Office. They were like, yeah, we good. Yeah, we're good. We good with the lies. Ain't no problem. We're good with it. What does that tell you? It tells you is that we're dealing with people who no longer care about integrity. So it no longer matters. This country, I damn sure didn't, but this country has decided to reward a massive liar. They've decided to reward somebody with the highest office in the land who cannot tell the truth. And if you want to understand just how sick and demented some of these people are, this was a media story done where they interviewed this guy, Matt Wolfson, in Scranton, Pennsylvania, a 45-year-old former construction worker. He looked around at poverty in the Rust Belt city and thought the nation needed a change in leadership. Now, mind you, Joe Biden from Scranton. Look, I just want y'all to understand what we're dealing with. Wolfson said he didn't love the dictatorial aspect of Trump's personality, but thought it could keep the country out of wars and maybe bring peace to some other conflicts, including Ukraine. I want y'all, this is a real quote. He's good and bad. People say he's a dictator. I believe that. I consider him like Hitler, Wolfson said, but I voted for the man. Y'all, there is no amount of policy, plans, prescriptions, specifics from Vice President Kamala Harris or Minnesota Governor Tim Walz or any Democrat that can counter that. These folks voted for the devil. See, in fact, since y'all gonna make me go here, see, I'm gonna have to. See, we're not set for a position over there, so I'm gonna have to go ahead and stay right here because I need to actually stand up on this. I need to stand up on this here. So some of y'all, if y'all really want to understand what we're dealing with, let me just go ahead and go biblical on some folk here. Go ahead, zoom, I stand up on this one. So let me just explain to y'all what just happened. Let me explain to y'all in biblical terms what just happened. Go ahead and zoom the camera out. What just happened in this election in biblical terms is that the United States did the exact same thing as the children of Israel did if you actually read your Bible. Y'all go ahead and go to my iPad, okay? So if y'all at home, understand 1 Samuel 8. 1 Samuel 8, Israel, they decided that, you know what? We need a king. And so it says, they said, give us a king to lead us. Samuel wasn't happy. Samuel prayed to the Lord. The Lord told him, listen to all that the people are saying to you. It is not you they have rejected, but they rejected me as their king, as they have done from the day I brought them out of Egypt until this day, forsaking me and serving other gods. So they are doing to you. Y'all follow what I'm saying? Now listen to them, but warn them solemnly and let them know what the king who will reign over them will claim as his rights. So Samuel went to them and said, all right, y'all want a king? Okay, this is what the king who reign over you will claim as his rights. He will take your sons and make them serve with his chariots and horses, and they will run in front of his chariots. Some he will assign to be commanders of thousands, commanders of fifties, and others to plow his ground and reap his harvest, and still others to make weapons of war and equipment for his chariots. He will take your daughters to be perfumers and cooks and bakers. He will take the best of your fields and vineyards and other olive groves and give them to his attendants. He will take a tenth of your grain and of your vintage and give it to his officials and attendants. Your male and female servants and the best of your cattle and donkeys he will take for his own use. He will take a tenth of your flocks, and you yourselves will become his slaves. When that day comes, you will cry out for relief from the king you have chosen, but the Lord will not answer you in that day. But the people ignored Samuel. They said, no, we still want a king. Then we will be like all the other nations with a king to lead us and to go out before us and fight our battles. When Samuel heard all of the people said, he repeated it before the Lord. The Lord answered, listen to them and give them a king. Then Samuel said to the Israelites, everyone go back to your own town. I mean, anybody who knows that scripture knows the king was Saul. And we know Saul was evil as hell because he was crazy. So you see, so America said, oh, no. I know, I know y'all dug us out of that horrible economy. I know you rebuilt the infrastructure in this country. I know we provided the American Rescue Plan. I know we actually, you were the most pro-union, pro-working class presidency since FDR. We know all of those things. But you know what? We want a king. We want a king. We want to go back to the glory days of Pharaoh. Because it was great in 17 and 18 and 19. We're going to skip over 21, all the after effects. We're going to skip all that. But it was just so great and it was just so wonderful when we had us a king. Oh, I know the man said in his own mouth that I'm going to be a dictator. I know the man actually said what I'm going to do. I know the man said, oh, to the rich folk, hey, y'all did great under me. Y'all going to do greater under me. I know he said all of that. But the poor folks said, oh yeah, but let's go ahead and put the king in because he was a master at the economy. Oh, I know he filed bankruptcy 6 times. I know he lied a whole lot when he was there. I know he actually ran the nation's debt up, added 25% to the nation's debt, but he's a genius. We're going to do so much better because the last few years we have not done well. Of course, we didn't want to own up to what he did, the deal that he cut with the Saudi Arabia that caused gas prices to go up in 2022, also caused inflation to go up in that particular year. I know he did all these things, but I just think we're going to do just so much better than him than we did. Now forget the fact that unemployment today, even before the election, was actually lower than it was in December 2019. Oh, forget the fact that all of these companies began to lower their prices because they were price gouging, and they saw a vice president saying, now I become president, I'm going to deal with y'all when it comes to price gouging. But see, then you got Wall Street and big companies say, oh yeah, Trump is now back. So guess what? They're going to allow mass consolidation. They're going to allow all sorts of monopolies to be created. Oh, we now going to be able to have all these companies and we can now merge together. Do y'all know what happens when companies actually begin to merge together? Layoffs. You know what they call that? Economic efficiencies. That means that we have redundancies in the back office. And so therefore, we're going to begin to lay folks off. I'm just letting all y'all understand what's about to come down. Because see, America, y'all have decided that you want a king. And the reality is we left that Pharaoh back after 2020. But see, some of y'all said, no, we want a king. We want him back. Oh, yeah, go ahead, King. Go on, King Trump. Send 11, 20 million people back. Deport everybody. Go right ahead. I can't wait to see your food prices jump because nobody's going to be available to pick that agriculture. Oh, I can't wait to the number when they start raiding companies. And then all of a sudden, y'all say, well, why is this store closed? Well, ain't nobody here to work the store. I can't wait for that to happen. Trump has already laid out what he's going to do with education. I can't wait for all y'all college students who voted for Trump. And he starts sitting here getting rid of your professors and holding federal funds back until you bow down to MAGA. I can't wait for that to happen. I can't wait for y'all to sit here. Again, I showed y'all the graphic of the low-income folks who vote. I can't wait when they start cutting food benefits. Oh, are y'all aware that there are Affordable Care Act subsidies that expire in 2025? Oh, I can't wait for the sick white folks in Kentucky and Alabama and Mississippi and Tennessee and Georgia and Florida and North Carolina and South Carolina. You start going, oh my God, you were supposed to get rid of Obamacare, not the Affordable Care Act. How? What, Donald, you are our king. You were not supposed to touch the Affordable Care Act. You were supposed to get rid of Obamacare because they're too dumb to realize it's the same thing. Oh, I can't wait till he makes the Trump tax cuts permanent. All the folks who are, somebody showed a tweet that was a hostess who said, that's right, I'm voting for Trump because I want my taxes to go up. And the person said, you a hostess at a restaurant. This tax cut don't affect you. I love the people who were going, I don't like Kamala's capital gains plan. You don't have $100 million. So what are you talking about? I can't wait for education and health care and on and on and on. And all the folk who claim that, oh, that's what I wanted. The Bible tells us when you want a king, understand, God will give you the desires of your heart, but that does not mean that that's operating within his will. Oh, yeah. So I know all these evangelicals, that's right. God saved Trump's life with the assassination because he wanted him to be president. I need them evangelicals to realize, I don't know what Bible y'all reading, because I could show you numerous examples where God allowed things to happen because that's what people wanted. Oh, but then after it happened, they were crying out to the Lord, Lord, please save us. Oh, please save us, because this king done lost his mind. See, when you beg for a king, when you plead for a king, when you reject the prophets who have properly advised you of what happens when you get a king, then you have to deal with the repercussions of the king's actions. And I'm letting y'all know right now, at 7:51 p.m. Eastern, on this day, November 11th, 2024, this video is going to be played back. And people are going to say, oh my God, we didn't know these things were going to happen. And then we're going to say, we tried to tell you. We're going to sit here and say, we tried to tell you before the election. We told you on November 4th. We told you on October 27th, and October 20th, and October 13th, and October 6th. And we're going to tell you, we've been telling you this here. But see, America has decided. America, white women have decided. Latino men have decided. A percentage, 16, 18, some places 20% of black men have decided. Small percentage of black women have decided. A percentage of Asian Americans and Asian Americans. Majority of people in the country who actually voted have decided that they said, we want a king. Forget the lies, forget the deceit, forget the thievery, forget the thuggishness. We want a king. Well, come January 20th, when we actually celebrate a king in Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., y'all are going to get your king at 12:01 p.m. And speaking of that same Dr. King, I know what he said on April 3rd, 1968, when he said there's some dark days ahead. And he talked about the promised land. But you got to remember, that was a 43-minute and 16-second speech. It was a lot more than that bottom 2 minutes of the sermon he gave. But I need y'all to understand, we've been here before. America has had kings, and America has put those kings in office. And those kings have come tumbling down, and those kings have led us into depressions. Those kings have led us into recessions. So America, please by all means, enjoy your king. Enjoy your modern day Saul. But remember, it was a David who came and took Saul down. And then you said, my God, thank God that was a David to save us from that wretched king named Saul Trump.
When you talk about blackness and what happens in black culture, covering these things that matter to us, speaking to our issues and concerns.
This is a genuine people-powered movement.
There's a lot of stuff that we're not getting. You get it, and you spread the word.
We wish to plead our own cause. Too long have others spoken for us. We cannot tell our own story if we can't pay for it.
This is about covering us.
Invest in black-owned media.
Your dollars matter. We don't have to keep asking them to cover our stuff. So please support us in what we do, folks.
We want to hit 2,000 people, $50 this month, raise $100,000. We're behind 100,000, so we want to hit that. Y'all money makes this possible.
Checks and money orders go to P.O. Box 57196, Washington, D.C. 20037-0196. PayPal is R Martin Unfiltered. Venmo is RM Unfiltered. Zelle is Roland at RolandSMartin.com.